Tonight, find out about visiting students who are solving global problems.
Plus, the Cat in the Hat is invading Troy Elementary. Stay tuned. Troy TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for March 2nd, 2012. I'm Danielle Percival.
And I'm Courtney Still. Thank you for joining us this evening. Troy University is known for its international student population, but today representatives from all over the world were on campus to solve some global problems in an imaginary way. Courtney Addison explains.
Thursday and Friday, Troy University was filled with middle school students from all over the southeastern part of Alabama. But if you saw any of these students, you probably noticed they weren't dressed in everyday clothes. That's because those students were here for the Southeastern Alabama Model United Nations Conference. During the conference, students were placed in groups of 4 to 5 and represented a country. Committee member Terry White tells us what she feels students will get out of attending the conference.
The students will get many things out of this conference, but the main thing they will get is awareness of the world around them, not just Troy, Alabama or Dothan, Alabama or the state of Alabama, but they're becoming more conscious of world affairs and things that are going on in the world.
Students were given the chance to debate world affairs and discuss issues concerning the country they were representing. Each country was given the opportunity to come up with a resolution to what they feel is their country's biggest problem. Then in return, other nations are able to give their opinions and thoughts on the resolution. At the end of the debate, students vote on whether the resolution is passed or not. Officer Julie Shaw tells us what she feels she's learned from being a part of the organization.
I've learned how you have to be a critical thinker. You have got to plan this out, you have to be organized, and you have to be on your toes the whole time.
Debating and developing resolutions on world affairs can be a very long and difficult challenge. So here's Julie Shaw's take on the best way to handle the situation.
You cannot be rude. You just have to be all calm about this and patient because it is a long process.
Courtney Addison, Troy TrojanVision News.
Students from Troy, Ozark, Dothan, Zion Chapel, and Bruton participated in the Model UN.
Art lovers in Troy have some new pieces to admire as the Malone Gallery is showcasing work from young artists. Bailey Majors gives us a look at the exhibition.
The Malone Gallery of Fine Arts has played host to the annual Visual Arts Achievement Program competition and exhibition. About 172 pieces are on display in the gallery made from young artists.
It is a statewide art competition sponsored by the Alabama State Council on the Arts. These are artworks that are produced by junior high and high school students.
The art submitted to the show covers a wide variety of creative work as it is divided into 7 different categories:
printmaking, drawing, painting, 3D, computer images, and mixed media. There's a wide variety of forms of expression here.
The students' work featured in the gallery is said to be some of the best in the region and has gone through much critique.
The teachers have to jury. They only get to send 10 pieces per teacher per school, and so they jury there first. So what we're seeing is some of the best art produced by our young and up-and-coming artists.
The exhibit is soon coming to a close, but viewers will not be disappointed with the showcases.
The art that is phenomenal. This is the best of the best from these students from this region.
Bailey Majors, Troy TrojanVision News.
The exhibition is concluding Saturday, so there is still one more day to view the art. And every day we read the news because it's something that you can use.
Well, this week kids are reading too to celebrate the birthday of Dr. Seuss. Amanda Ford has more.
This week, Troy Elementary School participated in Read Across America Week. Students had the opportunity to participate in many activities to celebrate this special week.
We have read several different Dr. Seuss books, and they have dressed up. The Grinch one day, the places you'll go, they wore t-shirts, green for the Grinch, and then they wore t-shirts of places they visited. And we have done several cut and paste activities to go inside with the books, and our accumulating activity today was dressing up as Cat in the Hat and cooking green eggs and ham in the classroom.
The purpose of Read Across America is to encourage children to read more and show them that reading can be used in a fun way.
Especially here in kindergarten, we're trying to get the children excited about reading and let them know that it's a fun thing to do. So we try to really pump them up this whole week to see, you know, what types of different things they see in the Dr. Seuss books and We had a parade this afternoon. It was really just to get them excited and let them know that reading is fun and enjoyable.
Davis said while every year they celebrate Dr. Seuss's birthday by dressing up and cooking green eggs and ham, this was the first year that they held a parade to end this week's events. Some students tell what was their favorite part of the festivities.
I like the mayor to come read to us because he read my favorite story. We had to wear a Dr. Seuss hat. We got to paint our face like Dr. Seuss and have a tail.
Amanda Ford, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Read America Day was started in 1998 by the National Education Association, and this year would have been Dr. Seuss's 108th birthday.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Birmingham, a state corrections official says a reported tornado in northern Alabama hit a state prison in Capshaw, 10 miles west of Huntsville. Another reported tornado destroyed several houses as storms threatened more twisters across the region 2 days after a storm system killed 13 people in the Midwest and South.
And in Montgomery, the Alabama legislature has given final approval to a bill that offers tax incentives for creating new jobs in the coal industry. Different versions of the bill were passed by the House and Senate. The bills are part of Governor Robert Bentley and the Republican legislative leadership agenda for the session.
And also in Montgomery, a marker will be unveiled in front of the grounds of the Alabama State Capitol on Saturday to commemorate the speech given by the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. at the end of the 1965 Selma to Montgomery March. This is the fourth marker put up by Kenneth Mullinax in the last 15 years.
And still to come in TrojanVision Nightly News, the softball team is in tournament action this weekend and is already having success. Dustin Carroll will be in with the details on that and more when he joins us with sports.
But first, the threat of severe weather has been high the past couple of days, but may rise at nightfall. We'll have more on that after the break.
Those books are heavy. My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Find out how you can live united for education. Give, advocate, volunteer. Go to liveunited.org.
Do you wear this?
If you can learn one thing in life, especially if you go into business, it's how to communicate and how to work with others. And I do think Troy taught me that.
Troy reaches out to people who they see their commitment to public service.
Troy just attracts students that want to give back to the community, that want to give back all across the world.
We want to educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, the body to act. We want to enable our students to go out into this world and make a difference.
Troy University, in class, online, within reach. Troy.edu.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we go to Danielle Percival at the Global News Desk. Danielle.
Thanks, Courtney. Tornado watches are up in half a dozen states as violent storms pummel the southeast, and forecasters expect the danger will ramp up as night falls. Already there have been reports of several tornadoes and widespread damage. Terrell Brown is in Newmarket, Alabama with the very latest.
Meteorologists believe it was a tornado that shredded these homes outside Huntsville, Alabama.
Devastating. It's heartbreaking. Don't really know what to think, to tell you the truth about it.
The first round of Friday's wicked weather tore off roofs, snapped signs, and flipped trailers in the Tennessee Valley. Meteorologists believe it was the work of at least 2 tornadoes, each with winds of around 130 miles per hour.
Oh my gosh.
From Louisiana to Ohio, from Missouri to South Carolina, golf ball-sized hail fell, and damaging winds pulled down trees and power lines. Tens of thousands of people are without electricity. Forecasters warn conditions are likely to get worse, especially after sunset.
This is just going to be an unfolding event, unfortunately, for the rest of the day. I would say if you have to run an errand, go ahead and do it now and make sure you're back within the next couple of hours.
Warm air from the Gulf of Mexico colliding with low pressure from the northwest is setting off the storms. The severe weather comes 2 days after a massive system in the same region unleashed more than 24 tornadoes, killing at least 13 people. Forecasters expect today's tornadoes to travel fast, but stay on the ground for a long time with the potential to cause more damage. Terrell Brown, CBS News, Newmarket, Alabama.
The GOP presidential candidates will spend the next few days campaigning hard for every vote ahead of the looming Super Tuesday contest. With more than 400 delegates at stake, the next few days on the campaign trail are critical. Randall Pinkston is at the White House with the latest.
Mitt Romney rallied supporters in Washington state, where Republicans caucus Saturday.
So please make sure and go to the caucus site. Get your friends.
Rick Santorum was there last night, challenging Romney's conservative credentials.
This race is about what kind of America you're going to leave to your children and grandchildren.
And voters are listening after Santorum nearly beat Romney in his home state of Michigan.
He has a great chance to beat Mitt Romney and then again to beat President Obama.
Both Santorum and Romney will be in Ohio later on Friday, the biggest prize among the 10 states holding contest Super Tuesday. A new poll of likely primary voters in the state shows the race tightening between the two frontrunners, with Santorum hanging on to a 4-point lead. But the prolonged nomination battle is a sign that many GOP voters are still undecided. More than a third of Ohio Republicans say they have yet to select a candidate. Mitt Romney insists he's got the best chance to beat President Obama.
This guy is out of ideas, and he's out of excuses, and so in 2012 we're getting him out of office.
Newt Gingrich is counting on a win in Georgia on Super Tuesday to revive his struggling campaign.
And I want to force Washington to decide, do you want to be on the American people's team or do you want to get fired and go home?
And Ron Paul will be in Washington state today, firing up his supporters ahead of tomorrow's caucuses. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, the White House.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, including information about another option available for some patients dealing with hepatitis C, you can tune in to TrojanVision Global News right after the nightly news. Now, back to you, Courtney.
Thank you, Danielle. And now Dustin Carroll joins with a look at sports. So, Dustin, I know that the softball team is in tournament action, and they seem to be doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, they played earlier this morning and played pretty well. And we'll be playing tonight also, and I'll get into that right now.
The Trojan softball team is in Oxford, Mississippi this weekend for the Red and Blue Classic, and their first outing was a quick one. The Trojans defeated the Bruins of Belmont 10-2 in 5 innings this morning. The Trojans pounded out 10 hits against the Bruins as senior Michelle Hewitt led Troy with a 3-for-4 day at the plate with 3 RBIs scored and an RBI. Hewitt's 3 hits extended the senior's hitting streak to 8 games, the longest of the season by any Trojan. Sophomore Kelly Laquette drove in 3 runs as the sophomore was 1 of 3 at the plate. On the mound, Ashley Rainey surrendered just 2 runs on 4 hits to pick up her 4th victory and her 3rd to complete game of the year. Rainey struck out 4 while walking just 1 batter. Troy was scheduled to play their 2nd game of the tournament against host Ole Miss at 4:45, but because of bad weather, it has been delayed. After winning 2 games in a row over the weekend in the Sunshine State, the Troy men's basketball team is hoping to keep the mojo flowing as they take on South Alabama in the first round of the Sun Belt Tournament Saturday night. Both matchups this season with the Jags were competitive and went deep into the game before the Trojans eventually faltered. The last game in Mobile, the Trojans had a chance to win after Mo Weathers tied the game at 66 with 8 minutes to go, with 1:08 to go. But Rubit Augustus laid it in for USA with 0.2 seconds to go to give South Alabama a 68-66 win. And as Coach Don Maestri says, the Trojans have a chance to win if they can ride the momentum from their previous 2 outings.
One, we'll have to use the momentum from the last 2. Hopefully it gives us some offensive confidence that we're scoring better now as a group. I think we're playing a lot harder on defense. That started with the Little Rock game, which was probably the hardest defensive effort we put in the whole season was the Little Rock game here at last game at Sartain. And if we could keep that intensity up defensively and then use the scoring confidence that we gained in Florida, on the Florida trip, I think we'd have a legitimate shot against South Alabama.
Tip-off for Troy and South Alabama set for 6 p.m. from Hot Springs, Arkansas. The Troy women's basketball team has experienced a season they would probably like to forget. The Trojans entered the Sun Belt Tournament with a record of 2-25, but have played better in the last few weeks. Despite their struggles this year, Coach Mike Murphy says his team knows what to expect from the Mean Green this weekend.
Well, we really played a great second half against FIU. Got off to a rough first half. Played a great second half, evened it up at 34 apiece in the second half. Against Florida Atlantic, played 2 great halves. And what we do for momentum is just continue working on what we do in practice. We're focusing on us, not so much what the other team does. We're doing a lot of shooting. We're encouraging the kids to take their shot. We tell them good shooters take good shots, and great shooters make good shots. So that's what our focus is going to be on.
Tip-off between the Mean Green and the Trojans is set for 2:30 p.m. in Hot Springs, Arkansas. The Troy baseball team was never able to get the bats going against Southern Miss last weekend, but that was not the case Tuesday night as the Trojans pounded out 12 hits that produced 13 runs, including 3 hits from Danny Collins and Boone Shear. The Trojans will be hoping those bats have not cooled off as they will travel to hot Daytona Beach, Florida, to take on the Bethune-Cookman in the 3-game series this weekend. The Wildcats entered the game with a record of 4-5 after losing to Central Florida 8-4 Wednesday night. And as Coach Bobby Pierce says, the Wildcats are a team they will have to watch out for this weekend.
Played really well. I think they're kind of an underrated team right now. Their coaching staff came right up the road here to Alabama State. Their staff from last year is now at Alabama State. And people were wondering if Bethune was going to be the same team that they've seen, which has been a regional type team. And right now they're playing like that. They've had some big wins. Played Florida all the way to the last out of the game. They lost by a run, but it was a tight ball game. So good, solid team. We got to learn how to go on the road and win a series.
First pitch between Troy and Bethune-Cookman is set for 6 p.m. Friday night. The Trojans will be looking to get their first series sweep of the year. And as they do each week, Danielle Percival and Jonathan Sellers will bring you a complete wrap-up of all things Trojan sports tonight on Trojan Sports Now. And for a preview of this week's show, here's Jonathan Sellers.
Coming up on Trojan Sports Now, we'll look back at a busy week in Trojan sports, including the basketball team's final games of the season, baseball, softball, and a couple of Trojans looking to make it in the NFL. We'll also give you a look ahead at the basketball conference tournament and baseball and softball on the road. All that and more tonight on Trojan Sports Now.
The show airs tonight at 7 and 11 right here on Troy Trojan Vision. Well, Courtney, hopefully the softball team can get in their game tonight, and good luck to the men's and women's basketball teams this weekend in the Sun Belt Tournament and the baseball teams. They travel to Daytona.
A lot of tournament action this weekend. I hope once again we bring home a lot of W's.
Hope so.
Thank you, Dustin. Thank you.
Still to come on Trojan Vision Nightly News, the Student Government Association recently elected the new SGA president. Aaron Taylor gets to know the president in tonight's Trojan Talk.
Plus, it seems that spring is getting closer as temperatures continue to warm up, but could it lead to some nasty weather? Tiffany, what does the weekend have in store?
Well, Courtney, we saw a beautiful day today in our area, but be prepared over the next couple of days to bunker down in a safe indoor area.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Plant inspiration. Provide youth with the creative tools and skills to cultivate it. And you'll be amazed at what can grow. Adobe Youth Voices and the Peapod Foundation. Learn more at plantandinspire.org.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now Tiffany Lester joins us with a look at weather.
Well, Tiffany, earlier today it seemed like it had all the makings of a nice spring day, but you could see in that shot behind you that the clouds are rolling in. What can we expect as far as tonight is concerned?
That's true. We did see a beautiful day out there, high of 78, mostly sunny skies, but about 3 o'clock those darker clouds started rolling in, so we should be experiencing some rain. We are actually under a tornado watch right now until 12 a.m. on Saturday. And I'll get into that in just a minute. First, let's take a look at our TrojanVision campus snapshot, where we see that the skies are getting very gray out there, as we will be experiencing some tornado warning symptoms. As we take a look at our current conditions, mostly cloudy. Temperature 75, dew point 63, humidity 64, barometer at about 29.81 inches and falling, and winds coming from the south-southwest about 15 to 20 miles per hour. For today's statistics, the high was around 79 degrees, the low is 64, zero rain so far in our area. The sun rose at 6:08 in the morning and is set to set at 5:43. As we take a look at temperatures from around the state, we see that in our area we're seeing those 75-degree temperatures. Montgomery at 79, which is very high. Phoenix City at 78, and Mobile at a low of 72 in our area. Mostly cloudy skies throughout the entire state of Alabama, and throughout the southeast we are seeing those. Florida is seeing those 80-degree temperatures, but as you get up into Alabama and Georgia, we're seeing those 70-degree temperatures, and North Carolina is seeing those 50-degree temperatures. And as we stretch out and look across the rest of the United States, we are seeing those cooler temperatures, 30 degrees, even below freezing degrees, 20 degrees, all throughout the northern portion of the U.S., through the Rockies, the Great Plains area. And we are also experiencing a lot of action on the current surface map. We see that stationary front with the low pressure system, the high pressure system there, the cold front in the bottom of the Rockies, and throughout our coming towards us, toward our area, is that cold front and the rain bringing it into our area. We should be experiencing some heavy rain later. As I said, we are experiencing some rain here in our area, mostly northern Alabama right now. As I said, precipitation forecast over the next 48 hours, moderate to heavy rain all throughout the southeast. It's just covering the entire southeast. And those thunderstorm forecasts, a lot in our area, covering the entire state of Alabama and parts of Georgia and Tennessee. And as we take a look at our forecast for Saturday, that rain should be still in our area tomorrow. As it gets heavier and heavier, it will be moving toward the eastern coast, and on Sunday it should be out of our area. Just some wind advisories in North Alabama, but the rain should mainly be in Florida and heavy in parts of Florida. But on Monday it should be sunny skies again and just very nice weather for our area. And on Tuesday, again, nothing in our area, just some snow, ice, and advisories on the northern or on the west coast, and some wind advisories all throughout the Great Plains. As we take a look at tonight's forecast, we see those isolated thunderstorms throughout the night, an 80% chance of rain. Winds coming from the southwest at 15 miles per hour with a low of 64 degrees. So just be aware of those possible thunderstorms in your area. For tomorrow's forecast, morning storms, but light afternoon showers just all throughout the afternoon. Still that 80% chance of rain, winds coming from the northwest at 12 miles per hour with a high of 64. And as we take a look at our 4-day forecast, it's actually pretty nice compared to what we will be experiencing over the next couple of days. We see that on Saturday, as I said, that high 80% chance of rain, possible thunderstorms in our area, high of 64, low of 39. On Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, nice sunny skies, high of 63 on Sunday, a low of 43 on Monday, high of 69, low of 41, and on Tuesday, a high of 68. So just very sunny skies compared to what we should be experiencing over the next 12 to 48 hours. Those thunderstorms just all throughout Alabama, just covering Alabama and Florida and the entire rest of the southeastern area of the United States. So just be aware, stay inside, stay in a safe place, and if you go anywhere, just be aware and drive safely.
That's right. We certainly hope everyone stays safe out in this weather. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you.